This episode of FSEN Daily includes affiliate promotions. When you use our link or promo code, FSEN may earn a small commission that helps us continue bringing you coverage of local sports and entertainment. Thanks for supporting the show.
Every score, every story, every voice that matters in the borderland. This is FSEN Daily. Sports entertainment news. If it matters here, it matters here.
All right, folks, welcome to FSEN Daily. Today is Wednesday, June the 10th, 2026. And I am joined here again by my co-host, Junior. Welcome to the show, folks. Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon.
All right, man. So let's jump into this show. We're going to start here local. We're going to close some ends on some of the stories we talked about a little bit like last week, specifically EPISD and then the data center. So yesterday, the city of El Paso basically said that the Meta data center incentive agreement would remain in place on a 5-3 vote. There was a lot of public dissension and opposition to that.
I heard they spent hours there talking, even got to the point where they started chanting, vote them out.
7 hours. They were there for 7 hours. I don't think that I think that decision came down to money.
Oh no, absolutely it was. It's going to be an expensive litigation process to even get out of that contract. It was going to cost the city of El Paso millions, if not billions of dollars, in addition to just time and legal fees. So I think this was a business decision to make sure that taxpayers weren't having to take the cost of getting out of that deal. It is unfortunate though. I guess we're going to see the economic and ecological impacts that this data center has specifically on the borderlands. In addition, we already know how the public feels about it. Again, there were a chance of vote them out like moments after the vote passed in that building from all the El Paso citizens who went there, who were politically active, made their voices heard. What was that? Yes, exercising their rights as U.S. citizens and citizens of El Paso to make their voices heard, albeit it seems like it fell on, for the most part, deaf ears.
Now, again, we'll see how this plays because, people show their dissension when they go to vote.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 of these elected official positions are up in the November ballot, and so we'll see if there really is a lot of dissension and people go and they vote for a change. But I will say this, that those 3 were the only remaining members of the 2023 council that unanimously approved the incentives for Meta to come here. And so 3 years ago, they approved these incentives. Meta's dropped billions of dollars into El Paso since then. At the end of the day, Meta's going to be probably the highest taxpayer in the city, in the region. And they've already made the commitment to commit $800 million into the area, and it's going to be a $10 billion investment. So, I mean, and they've already started building. I could see if they hadn't have started building stuff.
Yeah, now they have started building. There are still, because this contract is also not only on El Paso to keep their end, but also Meta to keep their end to stay within those deadlines that they have to reach with the construction of the data center.
And I'm sure they're going to be watching that like a hawk.
Oh no, absolutely. I think both the city of El Paso and Meta are going to be making sure that both are obviously in a bargain. But now, since all the ascension happened, you can definitely make sure that Meta will ensure, to the best of their ability, that this data center goes through on time. Because if they miss those deadlines in that contract, actually, I do not know what that would mean, but I don't think it would reflect well on Meta's part. And Yeah, actually, me.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a interesting storyline there, especially with elections coming up in November. That people show their disdain or support by going out and voting. So we'll see if this brings more people out to the voting booths. That should be interesting. Because I mean, if you want to make change, you got to vote. That's definitely for sure.
Also, real quick. So there are defined remedies if Meta fails to meet its contractual obligations, like private investment and job application. So there are different ways that this can be handled if Meta fails on their own part.
I don't see that happening.
I don't see that happening either, but
Yeah, I don't see that happening. So this is a developing storyline, I guess you could say. The data center is coming, but there will be no other data centers coming to El Paso.
nah, I think this will be the only one.
This will be the only one. So kudos to them for that.
And again, we'll see if it stays open because a couple data centers that have been built have been closed down due to the small returns that have been seen with AI investments so far. We'll see again in the coming months and years how the continual investment from not only private entities but the U.S. government as well into this AI bubble, as it's been referred to, pays out.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's all gonna come down to money.
Mm-hmm.
It's all gonna come down to money. Now let's shift. Speaking of money, let's talk about EPISD. So they're getting ready to do the layoffs. What's next for them? I mean, as they navigate these layoffs, board turmoil, they've got people resigning from the board, got schools that are aging, and there's still a budget crisis at the end of the day. Still a budget crisis. And the one looming question that sits out there like an elephant in a small room is, at the end of the day, who's responsible for the financial mismanagement? You've heard some people say that the former district chief finance officer and the interim superintendent both withheld bad news and covered up financial blow-up. Others say a lack of state funding was already challenging the district and removed any room for error. I'll speak on the latter, right? The state hasn't given schools in the state of Texas funding for over 10 years. So if you were funding based off of the state giving you money, you were already messing up. That's my opinion. Because since Governor Abbott has been there and he hadn't got his vouchers, he has not given public schools money. So I don't know how you can set a budget up thinking you're going to get school money from the state when the man hasn't released it until he said he wasn't going to get no money until he got his vouchers. And he kept his word. So if that was the case, then it's more than just them two that's at fault. It's the whole board that's at fault because they knew going in they wasn't going to get that state money. That's just my 2 cents. But we got a new superintendent, Brian Lusk, and he said that the district will reorganize its business and finance department to rebuild public trust. And that's my question to you is, can the district regain public trust after this?
It's gonna take a while. I'll say that for sure. I think how they're going with like a new dashboard, kind of showing how they're spending their money, being more transparent with the residents within the EPISD district, EPISD, and surrounding areas with how their money's being spent is ways to do it. But I think it's just gonna take time. Time and transparency is the only way that this trust can be rebuilt, if it can, because, like you said, this is just a series of different oversights and lack of communication and not vulnerability, communication and transparency. That's how we got to this point. So I think the only way to regain that trust is, again, to be more transparent, to be more communicative, to basically lay it all out there so that El Pasoans can see that you are actually making an effort to make this right, an effort to correct the already sinking ship that we have right now with this debt that the district has, while also making sure that you maintain the level of education that you have been having, if not try and find some way to increase it. Because if these budget cuts are happening in addition to the quality of education now dropping, that's going to lead to even more issues. So making sure that that quality of education stays the same, even with the lack of teachers that you now have, lack of staff members you have at the top, making sure that that, like I said, the teachers still have the resources that they need to provide quality education to make sure that these students graduate on time and are ever prepared to enter whether college, trade schools, or straight out to workforce, straight out of high school.
So here's what I see. For the next couple of years, these school systems are going to have to try to figure out how to do more with less. It's a shame that a lot of people are going to lose their jobs, but I also think that the fact that these budgets had positions in them that hadn't been filled in years, several years, that's alarming to me. Like that should have never even been in the budget. Those positions should have been removed, right? And I know the fear is that if enrollment numbers change, you lay somebody off, then you got to rehire them. Okay, I got it. I understand that. But to carry a salary position that isn't being filled on your budget is negligence. And I say all this from my undergrad is in accounting, my master's is in accounting. And so you can only account for what you actually have. Like, I mean, and there's always this joke amongst accountants that I can make a broke man look rich. You can, if you manipulate the numbers, which is what we're kind of seeing right here, I think. But yeah, it's definitely going to take some time to regain public trust out of all of this. But I think that they've got to be more open to partnering and doing work with the community now to come up with ways to generate some revenue for the school systems, right? I think that the school systems need to figure out a way to monetize some of the initiatives that they're doing.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing parents start taking their students out of these EPISD schools and moving to like Socorro or Isleta or Canotillo or
but there's issues in every school district, like,
or even private schools such as the Valle, Da Vinci, not the Valle, the Valle's public, like Da
Vinci isn't a private school. Da Vinci is a public charter school.
My bad.
So
But
the private schools is Emmanuel
Emmanuel.
Cathedral.
Oh yeah, Emmanuel Cathedral. Is it Silva as well? Or am I tripping?
No, that's not a private school. You've got
It's been a minute, y'all, since I've been in this school district. I'm sorry.
you've got St. Mark's, and there's one other. But then everything else is like IDEA. That's charter school. Da Vinci charter school. They figured out ways to, well, not all of them, because they've been under the bullet as well. The only ones that really haven't been under the bullet and have gotten an A+ is Da Vinci. Here in the last couple of years, but every school district has ran into financial woes because of declining enrollment, right? And it all comes back to, where does the dollar go for these students? Does the money go with the student, or does the money go with the area that the student is in? And that's always the big debate.
Well, I mean, we've seen precedents saying that the money goes to the students. You've seen multiple court decisions where it said, yeah, you can apply for a voucher, and if your student ends up going to a private or charter school, then your tax dollars go into that voucher. I might take this with a grain of salt. I might be misremembering slightly, but your money basically would follow your student to wherever they go.
That's what people want.
That's how it has been for, as far as I remember.
Not in Texas.
For the most part, that's kind of how it's been.
Not in Texas. It wasn't until the vouchers got approved that was the case. So this is the first year that's happening. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in these November elections, because a lot could change. Not going to jump into a whole bunch of politics on here, but a lot could change with elections. So we'll see. But I think that EPISD's got some work to do to regain the trust of the community. I mean, it wasn't maybe 5 years ago that we approved a $1 billion bond to build athletic facilities. Really? And I know we cover sports, but really? Like, we could have been trying to address some of these issues, but that's neither here nor there. Hey, folks, we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
When it comes to your safety, good enough doesn't cut it. That's why you need the best work gloves. Bare knuckles, gloves for any job, anywhere.
Less clutter, more clarity. This is Distill Union, where smart design meets real life. From wallets that snap shut just right to eyewear that's built to last, every detail is made to simplify your day. No flash, no fuss. Just clean lines, clever function, and modern style that moves with you. Distill Union, smart by design. Simplify your everyday. Use promo code FSEN and receive 20% off your entire order.
Embrace individuality with Ecolaw's diverse collection designed to stand out and make a statement wherever you go. Designed in sunny Los Angeles and handcrafted with precision, Ecolaw's sunglasses deliver durability and comfort, keeping you stylish and protected all day long. Use promo code FSEN and get 10% off your entire order.
All right, folks, we are back here, and we're going to pivot here and start focusing in on sports for a little bit. Today is Game 4 of the NBA Finals, where the New York Knickerbockers are up 2-1 over the San Antonio Spurs, and San Antonio won Game 3, and now we're going to Game 4 in the Garden. Should be more of a regular experience for Garden fans and the players and the timelines and everything back on point. What do you expect to see today out of both teams?
Well, I expect to see from the Spurs them stay with the same game plan of giving Victor Wembanyama touches in the paint. I think that was very effective this past game. I see no reason for them to change that up. No reason at all, because you saw how effective it was. It opened up space for the guards to operate. It made the Knicks have to shift their defense more towards, like I said, guarding Wembanyama, open the paint. I also see De'Aaron Fox having a more his game being more so what we expect to see from him. You know, he's had a couple moments here and there, especially towards the end of Monday's game. I think we're going to see him have a bit of a more offensive night, not just from scoring, not just from assisting, but scoring as well. And I think we're just going to see more so of the Spurs' young core showcasing their talents. It seems that they got a bit more comfortable Game 3, again, with Wembanyama getting more touches in the paint. And I foresee that continuing into this game unless the Knicks find some way to disrupt that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If I'm the Knicks, Wemby's going to have to beat me today. And here's what I mean by that. I'll let him go for 50. I'm not letting nobody else go. Can't let anybody else get off. And that's the issue is that they let all the others get theirs off. And in that instance, they got uber confident, right? Vassell, Castle, those young men played, even Fox. Like, they all got comfortable. They let them get comfortable, and then you seen the mushing. You saw the bully ball being played. You saw the aggression being played by the Spurs in the Garden, and so I do expect. I don't want to say this, but I think somebody's going to get a technical from the Knicks, and it's going to be early because they're going to send a message that you're not going to bully our star.
Yeah, I think for the Knicks, you're going to see more physicality from everyone. I think for the Knicks, especially, you're going to see how far the refs going to let you play. I think, like you said, there's going to be technical early. There's going to be a lot of physicality early because it's going to be the Knicks trying to see how far can we push that envelope. Because if we're going based off of last game where the NBA looked at that play you mentioned with Wembanyama mushing Brunson and said, well, there's no flagrant here. We don't need to upgrade this from a no call to anything. Nothing happened. The refs did admit after the fact that, we should have blew the whistle then, but that does no one no good because he didn't blow the whistle when it mattered.
No.
So the Knicks are seeing that the NBA is not going to do anything to step in. The refs are not really going to do much to step in. So you're going to see them definitely try and push the envelope. I expect it to come more so from their bench to be a little bit more physical because, like you said, the Knicks can't really afford to lose like Josh Hart or Brunson or Cat. You might see someone like Landry Shamet or Jordan Clarkson or even Mitchell Robinson get a lot more physical this game to try and, again, push that envelope. See how much they can get away with. How long is that leash?
Yeah, no.
I think you might also see the Knicks try and get under the skin of that young core. Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell both have shown.
I don't think they can.
Well, let's see. I'm trying to remember. Let me make sure.
I don't think they can. Here's what I say I don't think they can. Like, when I say I don't think they can, they already playing like they got nothing to lose, man. The one thing about young players is they don't know no better, right? So the moment isn't too big for them. They've played in big games in college. I just find it hard to think that they're going to be able to intimidate them.
I'm not saying intimidate. I'm saying have them lose their cool. Because Devin Vassell is a hothead. I see the Knicks trying to poke that, as Dylan Brooks would say, poke that bear.
Yeah.
Try and get him to act on emotion. Try and get Wembanyama to act more on emotion. I think what the Knicks have shown is that they're a lot more level-headed than the Spurs are. Because the Spurs are young. The Spurs are emotional. Like, there's nothing wrong with expressing your emotions, but you got to be able to regulate and how you express your emotions. Like, being more physical with the ball as opposed to, like, mushing someone or elbowing them in the face or, like, basically getting in the face, having shoving matches, which the Spurs, especially against OKC, did showcase that they let their emotions kind of get the better of them. I see the Knicks potentially trying to get a bit more under their skin because even when Brunson got mushed by Wembanyama, he started yelling at him, but then he got back into the play. He got right back into the play.
Yeah. Here's the issue I think is going to happen. What we're going to see is the referees are going to call this game really tight off the jump. To try to quail some of this, what we're talking about, right? I think the referees are going to call this game really tight off the jump and kind of loosen it up from there. But I think that they're going to be on watch for any retaliation, especially towards Wemby. The Knicks do anything towards Wemby, somebody might get tossed.
I think if the Knicks are smart, that retaliation is not going to be towards Wemby. It's going to be towards Vassell, towards Castle, towards those not yet. I'm going to say not yet because I do think that this young core for the Spurs have the potential to be NBA All-Stars, if not already, to be the next faces of the league. But Wembanyama's getting that star treatment, not necessarily them. So I can see the Knicks directing that aggression, directing that retaliation towards them because they're not going to get as much protection as Wembanyama, as maybe even De'Aaron Fox, like that star treatment, because they're not there yet.
Here's the crazy thing, too, and I'm just sitting here thinking about this. You think about it, there's 3 players on the Spurs team that have been trying to bully Brunson. De'Aaron Fox, Victor Wembanyama, and Stephon Castle.
And even Keldon Johnson a couple times that he had to switch onto him, which didn't really go well game 1.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've seen them try that again because Brunson did torch Keldon Johnson, especially that first game.
And I think it's just crazy that you're going after Brunson. Like, I would have went after one of the role players. If you're gonna try to get in this, go after one of the role players like not Shamet, but
I say
Mikal Bridges.
Even Josh Hart. Josh
Hart crazy.
Yeah, he has a bit of a hot head too. He almost got in a fight with Luke Cornett.
I think Josh Hart might start swinging. He might start swinging. I don't think that's the one you want to mess with, but players know who they can and can't mess with at the end of the day. Players know. But here's my question: who you picking to win game 4?
You know, the Spurs are on. Got a little comfortable. You know, they got one foot down. At least they got some balance. But I'm gonna say New York because this is a must-win for New York. Because if the Spurs retake home court advantage, and they have momentum going back home, that might be a bit of a problem. Because then at that point, I think it's gonna be the Knicks. Barely though. I think we might see an overtime in this series.
I'm picking the Spurs by 10 plus.
10 plus.
10 plus. 10 plus. I just don't see the only way I see that changing is if a different Karl Anthony Towns shows up. If game 1 Karl Anthony Towns shows up, Spurs in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But if not, they're going to lose by 10 plus.
Yeah, I think again this falls onto the matchup between Karl Anthony Towns and Wembanyama. Can Cat score over Wembanyama? Not can Cat stop Wembanyama? Because you can't really stop Wembanyama. He's gonna get a shot one way or another. But can you not only slow him down, but can you yourself go down to the court and have another night you had game 1, game 2? And can you find that back? You just need to win one. That's all. You just need to take it one. The Knicks, both teams need to take it one game at a time. Can y'all win one?
Well, they've won one, and I think they're about to win 2. I think the Knicks are in trouble. And they're up 2-1. I think they're in trouble. I think San Antonio has figured them out. I think that young core has gotten super confident.
Mm-hmm.
And they have awakened a beast in Victor Wembanyama that everyone has been afraid to see all year long. I think they're in trouble. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. We'll see.
What important aspect from both teams outside of their star players and their starting lineups playing is going to be a factor this game? Besides the obvious that we've already mentioned.
I think that the Knicks need their role players to show up. Like, Brunson's going to be Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
Obi has proven to be the second option, in my opinion, and I think Towns is the third.
Mm-hmm.
But Mikal Bridges, I think, Bridges and Hart are the key for the Knicks. If either one of them can, well, I can't even say, I can't even say that because they wasted a Hart game last on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
But that was because
Mikal Bridges went 1 for 5.
no, it's because Karl Anthony Towns didn't show up.
That too.
So the Knicks need 4 players to give them double digits in order to get themselves an opportunity to win. On the Spurs side, I think it's keeping Wemby out of foul trouble.
Mm-hmm.
If they can keep him out of foul trouble and allow those guards to be super aggressive on the wings and play, if the referees allow them to continue to manhandle the Knicks are in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it really is going to come down to how tight the referees call this game. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm. I think kind of to piggyback off of that, not only do they need to keep Wembanyama out of foul trouble, but they kind of need their bench to step up again. They need Luke Cornett to put in some productive minutes. Now, he doesn't play that many minutes, but they need him to have those minutes be impactful. Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson are both, especially Karl Anthony Towns, both taking chances to expose Luke Cornett when he's on the court. The Spurs need Luke Cornett to kind of take a step up. They might need him to have 1 or 2 blocks like he had on Hartenstein in that OKC series this game to win. And I think from the Knicks, they need their bench to show up again. They need Jose Alvarado and Landry Shamet to show up again. Jordan Clarkson showed up.
Yeah.
Mitchell Robinson has been doing what he's been needing to do, but especially Landry Shamet, getting 20-plus minutes a game, he needs to show up for the Knicks to win.
I will say this. The Knicks need to capitalize, and they did it in games 1 and 2, on those moments when Victor Wembanyama's out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
They need to capitalize on those moments when he's out of the game. They didn't do it so well in game 3, but games 1 and 2, the Knicks really capitalized. When Wemby's out of the game, they attack the basket with abandonment, with aggression, right? They need to do that in game 4 to get themselves a chance. So whenever Wemby comes out, everybody needs to go to the cup because that shot blocker's gone. But
And they need to be physical too. Both teams need to be physical, but the Knicks especially need to be physical.
I think the Spurs can afford someone to get in foul trouble more than the Knicks can.
Mm-hmm.
One of their starters to get in foul trouble more than the Knicks can.
Yeah, especially at the guard position, because then you have freaking Dylan Harper waiting in the wings. Just waiting.
Yeah.
If any of them guards get in foul trouble, okay, go ahead, Harper.
He's happy too.
Harper's playing starter minutes off the bench.
Yeah.
He's playing starter minutes off the bench.
He's a good young man. That young man is good.
Yeah, the Spurs need Harper to keep doing what he does best, I think, is another key to this game.
Yeah. All right, folks, we're going to take one final break, and we'll be back to wrap up the show.
Looking good should feel good, and with Hypernatural, it actually does. Their polos and shirts are made from natural jade and crab shell fibers engineered for softness, cooling comfort, and next-level performance. It's sustainable luxury that works as hard as you do. From the boardroom to the weekend, Hypernatural keeps you fresh, sharp, and confident all day long. Hypernatural, better by nature. Discover yours at hypernaturalstyle.com. Use promo code FSEN and get 20% off your order.
Love coffee, but not the crash. Meet Savarista, craft coffee reimagined for balance. Every roast delivers the rich flavor you crave, with little to no caffeine, so you can stay calm, focused, and in control. Ethically sourced, small batch roasted, and designed for people who live life intentionally, one cup at a time. Visit Savarista.com and use promo code FSEN to get 25% off your order. Savarista, bold flavor, balanced energy.
All right, folks, and we are back. Not sure what exactly happened right there, but it is what it is. We're back. We want to close out the show today by, one, letting people know today's Wednesday. So if you have a garage sale going on this weekend, today is the final day to get your garage sale put into the system so that we can put it out on Friday for weekend finds. You can find that on the website, fieldhousesen.com. Next, if you're a small business out there looking for an opportunity to reach an audience, give us a try. Take a look. A few months back, we made a decision we wanted to really know if our audience actually purchased stuff, and so we bought on some affiliates. You see the affiliate marketing brands running since December. We've done fairly well, I think, in helping driving traffic for our sponsors, right? Our affiliates. There's been 149 traceable purchases that have resulted in $14,500 in attributed sales generated exclusively through FSEN promotional campaigns. So the ticker that you see going across the bottom that we run from time to time, the logos, the commercials have resulted in 148 sales for these 11 companies, resulting in almost $15,000. Well, $14,500. And so if you're a business looking to reach an audience that buys, why not give us a try? We have about 225,000 monthly network views, especially during this time when there isn't any sports. When the sports is going, it's even higher. So, yeah, I just wanted to put that out. Anything you want to close with?
Fact checked everything that I said this episode. Fact check everything, truthfully, especially as we're coming up on election season, especially with these midterms that are very important at the national level and even at your state and district level. Do your own research. Fact check everything that you've seen, especially with the growth of AI and these potential for AI generated ads look very, very realistic. Make sure to fact check everything. Do your own research. Be an informed voter, and don't take everything that you hear on the internet with a grain of salt. That's all I'm gonna say. And stay safe again. It's very hot.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of hot, it's 105 today, I think. We're in triple digit season here in the borderlands. So if you're out, especially if you have a pet owners, stop leaving your dogs outside all day with a bucket of with a bowl of water. That water is going to get hot. It's going to be boiling. Your dog's not going to drink it. Your dog's going to dehydrate. Get your dogs in the house. Get them out of the sun. Get them in some shade. Don't hold your dog in your backyard like it's a hostage. Take care of your pets. You wanted the pet. You went and got the pet. It's your responsibility now. Take care of your pets. I'm going to stop right there. So, hey, folks, this has been another episode of FSEN Daily. Thank you guys for continuing to tune in and support the platform. Continue to watch. We love you guys. Thank you. Be blessed. Have a good weekend.
Have a blessed day.
Well, good.
Coaches, leaders, voices you should know. Local runs deep everywhere we go. If it matters here, then it matters today. This is FSEN Daily. Same time, same way.